tonight. We're going to break down this electoral college in a way that you've never seen it broken down before. Most of you may have never even heard of it or don't understand it. Maybe you heard of it, but don't really truly understand it. So let's break it down, but we're going to go straight from the sources tonight. So like I said, please click that like button and please share this video, because the zealots, the voting zealots, they need to see this video. Anyone you know that's a voting zealot, that's a fanatic, that's red, blue, left wing, right wing, you know, anybody that you know that's like that, make sure they get a copy of this video immediately. Because they need to get educated. They really, really need to get educated on what this whole voting system is about, how it works, and what it's tied to. And what it's tied to is sickening. What it's connected to is absolutely sickening. And what it's propagating till this very day is still extremely disheartening and extremely sickening. And we're going to expose it tonight on the Forbidden Knowledge podcast. All right? We're dropping pure facts tonight. And guess what? We're going to go over some of the sources tonight as well. All right? The sources for tonight's video are from rocketlawyer.com, brennercenter.org, abolishtheelectoralcollegepac.org, and Britannica. That's right, Encyclopedia Britannica. I'll be reading directly from some of these sources throughout the night as well, because you know you got to bring the receipts, right? You got to have those receipts. Now, local voting, voting for your local mayor, you know, voting for your governor, your commissioner, your sheriff, that actually works. Your vote does count towards that, all right? Because it doesn't go by a electoral college system, it goes by a popular vote system. And so in most cases, wherever you live, your vote should count towards your local politicians and your local sheriff, okay? I'm not talking about local voting. I'm talking about presidential voting, voting for the President of the United States of America. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, the majority of people don't understand exactly how voting works. They think if I vote, that goes into the box and my vote gets counted towards the final number. And if more people vote for this candidate versus the other candidate, the candidate that got the popular vote is going to win. Wrong. Not how it works. So before I dive in, let's analyze what brought about the creation of the Electoral College. It has deep, dark, current ties still to this day to slavery in America. And it developed out of a system that considered slaves 3/5 of a human. It's called a 3/5 compromise. Let's dig deep into this right now, y'all. Let's dig deep into this. The 3/5 compromise, United States history, Britannica.com. The 3/5 compromise agreement between northern and southern states at the United States Constitutional Convention in 1787 said that each slave would be 3/5 of the population. So that means 5 slaves would only be worth 3. Think about that for a minute.
And it's true. I have read this many times in my history books and was just appalled that that's how they used to think of black people back then. There was just 3/5. That's it.
Okay. So that 3/5 of the enslaved population will be counted for determining direct taxation and representation in the House of Representatives. And if you remember your history correctly, in 1787, black people in America were still enslaved. Even though we had a constitutional convention, even though we had a House of Representatives, so forth and so on. What's crazy is that, a lot of people don't realize that before you had the United States of America, you had the United States of Congress, okay? You had the United States of Congress, and the United States of Congress actually had presidents. Some would rule for 2 years, right, on average, and they were usually picked by the House of Representatives. This is before George Washington. So there were presidents here prior to George Washington becoming a president of the United States. Many of the founding fathers acknowledged that slavery violated the ideal of liberty that was so central to the American Revolution, but they were committed to the sanctity of private property rights. In other words, slaves were considered property, not human beings. The principles of limited government and the pursuit of intersectional harmony, they were unable to take the bold action against slavery. Moreover, the Southern founders decided to embrace the slave-based agriculture and their deeply ingrained racial prejudice, which solidified the barriers against emancipation. And also that the Continental Congress removed Thomas Jefferson's statement regarding the injustice of slave trade. And basically what he was saying was he was implicating that slavery was false and no good, even though he himself had slaves. And that was removed from the final version of the Declaration of Independence. So let's see here. Notwithstanding the initial disagreements over slavery at the Constitutional Convention in 1787, the framers of the Constitution continued to privilege the maintenance of unity of the United States over the eradication of slavery by resolving again to diffuse sectional tensions over the matter. As they went about creating a new scheme of government, and they do use the word scheme, a new scheme of government, the delegates from the small and large states were divided on the issue of the appointment of legislative representation. In other words, how are we going to get this voting system going? Because they got more people in the South than us. We have less people because we don't have any slaves, but they got slaves. All right?
So basically, he goes on. Y'all can watch this video. I'll put the link in the description. But he just kind of goes on and saying that, the North didn't really have slaves. The South did. So that gave them they wanted to start counting down the slaves. Then they became people. But I didn't really want to get into more of the slavery and the racial issue when it came to voting. I really wanted to focus more on the electoral college. So let's see if I can get it to that part.
Virginia or large state plan for the bicameral legislature.
Matter of fact, go read your history book. It's right in the history books.
The protection of slaves' interests. The 3/5 compromise, which counted enslaved people as 3/5 of the person for representation purposes, also played a role in the formation of the electoral college. It increased the influence of Southern slaveholding in states in the election process by giving them more electors so they can win, basically by having more of a quote-unquote, free population. It's a fraud. It's a scam. But this is the fundamental basis of how the electoral college system was created. Okay? I mean, that's just bizarre. It increased the influence of Southern slaveholding states in the election process by giving them more electors than they would have had with only free populations. So we're getting free population credit for people that actually weren't free. Electors, and who are these electors?
Yeah.
Who are the electors?
That's what I always wanted to know. Who are these people? I used to always think about that ever since I was in high school and college. And I thought there was some way to find out, but no one never knows. Well, we know who they are. Probably some person the elites picked, or a couple of people that they picked. Not just one person, it's a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of electors. But who are these people? What happened to we the people? See, that's my whole thing. What happened to we the people? And this video is like this, and it's not that I never knew about any of this, and especially he's going to go on to talk about the bloodline and how 99% of these presidents are related. Obama and Bush and Cheney. And a surprise one I didn't even know about, he said Clinton and Trump. So that kind of made me side-eye a lot of things too, because I always used to think with Trump, he always been saying he was going to drain the swamp. And I was like, they actually well, maybe they were shocked too that he won or that he won. But they actually let him get into the White House, knowing that he probably wasn't going to play their politics. I was like, no, there has to be something. There has to be something. So I wonder if that's true. I don't know for sure. I have to do my own research about Trump and Clinton, but Obama, Bush, and Cheney, we know as facts. And a lot of these other ones. So, but it just makes you think. And then they have, as I remember reading in my history books when I was younger, oh, this making us think that we all can have a dream of one day becoming president of the United States. You know how they have the qualifications. I think one was you had to be 35 years or older. I think you had to be a U.S. citizen, or you had to be actually born here in the United States. You had to be like a natural born citizen or something like that. There were some other ones. But had us all thinking that, oh, we can become president of the United States. No, you can't. And Obama better be glad he got his, I ain't gonna say black, his brown skin up in there. But now we know why, and we know the genders he been pushing, or they had him pushing. So, anyway.
It's not the voters. It's not the voters. You'll never see their face. You'll never know their name. You'll never know where they live. You'll never see them on the news. These behind the veil people actually decide who they're going to select as president or who they're going to vote for from that particular state, regardless of the popular vote. The popular vote is irrelevant to them. And we're going to talk about that tonight. All right?
And they probably just do that because they want to see how the population votes, just to see where everybody stand, because they don't want to make people too mad. They like to see, keep it kind of close with Republicans and Democrats. As long as they're in a big gap and stretch, oh no, the people loving the Republicans way more. Oh no, they loving the Democrats way more. We better be careful. I think it's just kind of for them to see, kind of just to test the waters out too.
Before the general election, political parties in each state select a slate of electors who pledge their support to their party's candidates for president and vice president. When voters cast their ballots in the presidential election, they are actually voting for electors, not directly voting for the candidates themselves. Britannica.com, Encyclopedia Britannica.com. I'm reading from the encyclopedia, guys. Yeah. Let me say this again, because I want to make sure that this is hitting your eardrum. It's going to the cochlea inside your ear, vibrating, stimulating those hairs in the back of your eardrum, and setting a frequency up the cochlea, getting it translated by the brain so you can really comprehend what the hell I'm talking about. Before the general election, political parties in each state select a slate of electors who pledge to support their party's candidates for president and vice president. When voters cast their ballots in the presidential election, they are actually voting for these electors, not directly for the candidates themselves. Does Bohemian Grove have anything to do with the presidency? The Bohemian Grove has to do with controlling and dominating the world behind the scenes, not directly with the presidency, although some of the people in that, in the
Bohemian Grove, what is that? Never heard of that. Now I must know. Bohemian Grove. Is it restricted? Oh, we know it's restricted. 2,700-acre campground in Monte Rio, California. It's a place where the powerful relax, enjoy each other's company, and get to know some of the artists, entertainers, and professors who are included to give the occasion a thin veneer of culture and intellectual pretension. I'll look more into that later. I never heard of that. The Bohemian Grove.
The Bohemian Grove that attend have the power to effect who the next president will be. So yes, in some ways it does. Okay. Who are the electors, Billy? That's a good question. Nobody can give you the answer. Not even the encyclopedia has the answer. They don't have the answer. These are people that are selected and picked by people in politics at the highest level, Congress, senators. They pick an elector, but nobody knows who they are. The only way you can tell who they are is by who they're not. That's it. There's no way to know exactly who they are, which is wild, absolutely wild, that this is the system that we're counting on to pick the president of the United States of America. Well, it tells you a lot about America. It tells you that America doesn't really have a president. We have a puppet. We have a puppet, and somebody is pulling the strings. And what power do presidents really have over the states?
None.
Hardly any. I live in Florida. When that whole global sickness went down, you know, the COVID, president tried to tell our state we had to lock down, we had to shut down, we had to wear masks, and we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. Man, Florida became the vacation state of the whole lockdown.
Sure it is.
Because everybody came to Florida because our governor said, the hell with that trash, that garbage. We ain't wearing no mask and we ain't locking nothing down. Get y'all asses outside, go to the beach, go to the restaurants, go to the parties, go to the club, enjoy yourself. Live your life. Go to work. Get your ass up and go to work. That's what we did down here. We don't care. The magic number is 270 electoral votes. If you get 270 electoral votes, which is more than half of the 538 votes, then guess what? You become president of the United States of America. Now, there's a total of about 390 million Americans, but only about 190 million are actually adults. The rest are kids. You're talking about almost 200 million people that potentially could vote if they wanted to. Of course, that many don't vote. But it only takes 270 votes to actually pick the president. If no candidate reaches 270, the election is decided by the House of Representatives. If no candidate reaches 270 electoral votes, then it's decided by the House of Representatives. 1 vote per delegation, which has happened before. It's actually happened. In December, after the general election, electors meet in their state capitals to officially cast their votes for the president and the vice president. This process is generally a formality, as electors always almost vote for the candidate who wins the popular vote. However, there have been instances where the faithless electors, they call them faithless electors, vote for someone other than their pledged candidate. I'll tell you that again. There have been rare instances, and it ain't that rare actually, because we're going to count how many presidents, where faithless electors vote for someone other than their pledged candidate. In other words, everybody in Florida voted for X candidate, and that person technically should win Florida. But the elector, this one person, say, you know what? Nah, I'll vote for the other guy. Even though the entire state wanted that particular president, the elector decided to pick the other president. Counting the electoral votes. In early January, the electoral votes are officially counted during a joint session of Congress. The vice president, acting as a president of the Senate, announces the results. If one candidate has received 270 electoral votes or more, that candidate is declared president-elect. Again, guys, it's the electoral votes that count, not your vote. So let's look at some of the criticisms. Some argue that the electoral college is a undemocratic situation because a candidate can win the presidency without winning the nationwide popular vote, which has happened several times. Let's take a look. John Quincy Adams, 1824. All right. He lost the popular vote, but still won the presidency because of the electoral college system. That's John Quincy Adams, 1824. Rutherford B. Hayes lost the popular vote. So again, like I said before, you don't have to win the popular vote to become the president of the United States. So everyone who thinks that it's a system where every vote counts towards who's going to be the president, it's a lot more intricate than that. It's not that simple. And as you can see, it has deep-rooted ties into the slavery system coming out of the South, which was the reason for the creation of the Electoral College in the first place. That's the reason for it. And there have been a lot of politicians, literally over decades, that have been trying to abolish or get rid of the Electoral College. But the powers that be, the real people that run the country ahead of the president, behind the scenes, they don't want to get rid of it. Because why? Because it allows them to control the puppet that they put in the office. They can control the puppet. If you get rid of the Electoral College, then the popular vote picks the president, and they cannot control who gets into the office. You see? This is the problem.
It's supposed to be we the people anyway. But we finding out it's not we the people. They try to make it, or make us think it's we the people. No, it's not we the people. I think we need to take our power back.
States have actually filed legislation to ban the Electoral College. But guess what? It still persists today. They can't get rid of it. They literally can't get rid of it. Who said somebody who's Kamala? Kamala's not related to anybody. That's why she ain't gonna be the president.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking to myself, and I just never even did the research because, sometimes with these politics, I'm just like, who cares? And I'm still kind of undecided if I'm even going to march myself down and go vote tomorrow because I have just been so undecided about voting these last couple of years, especially since 2020. I'm just to the point, and I know some of you guys are too, like, who cares? My life ain't going to change that much. I don't care if it's a Republican in office or a Democrat in office. The main thing is you want to stay prepared for situations like this because these situations come and go throughout history. You just got to be prepared. Make sure you don't have hardly no debt. Always have multiple streams of income and roll from there, basically. And that's what I always tell people, make sure you always got multiple streams of income, and number one, no debt. Try to stay as debt free as possible. That's the best way to get through tough times like this because it happens throughout history. It ain't gonna be the first time. It ain't gonna be the second time. So you just gotta stay prepared. And I'm just to the point. I'm tired of playing all these politics and them playing with us and making us think that our vote counts and that we matter and our voice matters. Like, no, it don't. Because I see now, and I'm glad people are waking up and starting to see, especially with the rise of social media and internet, that people are getting the information and not listening to mainstream media no more, where they can brainwash us. You're starting to see more people with boots on the ground and can actually, be the journalists for us, giving us the real facts and their opinions and what's really going on in this world and who running this world. So, excuse me, I have a cold, so my voice is very hoarse. And what's going on with these cold viruses these days? I feel like ever since 2020, these cold viruses have been on a whole nother level. I ain't never used to get this sick, ever. And I used to think to myself, well, maybe because I'm not working out as much as I used to. But no, still, these colds, they come and they just linger and just stay inside your body. Like, it don't want to go away. And it gets deep into your chest. I have never seen nothing like it before. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys been experiencing the same things, or know anybody who has been experiencing the same thing with these cold viruses? These cold viruses on another level.
The National Popular Vote Interstate Compact seeks to ensure that the presidential candidate who wins the most popular vote nationwide is elected as president. When a state passes legislation to join the National Popular Vote Compact, it pledges that all of that state's electoral votes will be given to whichever the president candidate wins the popular vote. This is a new law that all these states are trying to pass. So what they're trying to say here is they've been trying to put together this compact to create this situation where people who actually a state's actual votes, popular vote, will be guaranteed without a doubt that the electoral person will pick that person for president, will nominate or vote for that person for president. In other words, they can't decide whoever the hell they want to pick. They have to pick what the state says, what the popular vote of that state says. That's what they need to do. And so certain states have been creating this legislation. It's called a compact, and trying to get everyone to participate. But the controlling factors, the controlling states that dominate the electoral college voting system, they will not participate. So even though this has been created and this system is set up, it's just not manifesting at this moment because there's not enough states participating in it to get it to overturn and actually become a system where the popular vote is guaranteed to win. This is something that they've been working on for a very long time, trying to overturn this thing, but they just can't do it. Why? Because the real puppeteers are behind the scenes pulling all the strings. That's why. That's why they can't get it done. And so we're living in a country where we have the illusion of left wing, right wing. We have the illusion of Democrat or Republican. It's all an illusion. Those two parties are the best of buddies and the best of friends. They go golfing, they help each other.
And then,
Trump is talking about
TV and get in front of our face. They try to act like they're the worst of enemies. No, good and well, they be hanging out and just best buddies in the world. Some of them.
Pardoning Biden's son for his crimes as soon as he becomes president. He's already made that statement. These people are good friends, and most of them are relatives, related. Republicans and Democrats don't exist. The only thing that does exist is a group of elite oligarchs that torture men, women, and children worldwide. That exists. Democrats and Republicans, that's fake news. And that you guys are at odds against each other. It's divide and conquer tactics, nothing more. Simple divide and conquer tactics to keep us fighting each other while they slice the pie up and laugh at us. And boy, they're laughing at us. We're a bunch of freaking clowns. We're part of the circus. We're part of the absolute circus. We went from Ronald Reagan to George. They're all related. Dick Cheney's related to Obama. They're cousins. All these presidents are related. There's only one president that hasn't been related, and that's Van Buren. But Van Buren still went back to French monarchy. So he still went back to royalty out of Europe. Look it up. Don't believe what I say. Research what I say. I've been through so many freaking presidents. It's crazy. Then we had Clinton. Then after Bill Clinton, we had Obama. I think we had Obama after Bill Clinton. We had George Bush Jr. I'm sorry. Then we had Obama. And then we had, after Obama, we had Trump. I've been through a lot of presidents. And all of them are related. And if you don't believe me, you have a smart computer in your hands. You have a supercomputer device in your hands. It's well-known, well-documented, factual information. Obama was on the Tavis Smiley show saying out loud out of his own vocal box that yes, him and George Bush are cousins, but I'm probably not going to get invited to the barbecue. And they laughed about it.
No, let me tell you who y'all can listen to. Judge Joe Brown, he be spilling all the tea on these celebrities. And matter of fact, he was on Candace Owens. Go watch his interview on Candace Owens. But it ain't the first time I heard him say that. It ain't the first time I heard about Obama and Bush Jr. Being cousins, or the Bush being cousins, because it's always this little story of Obama when he was younger. Daddy Bush would always give him a piece of candy. And then they'll always show when Daddy Bush walk in as a joke. I think it's not Daddy Bush, younger Bush at Daddy Bush funeral walks in and gives Obama candy as kind of like a symbolism thing that everybody caught. But yeah, go watch Judge Joe Brown. He'll tell you the whole history of it. Judge Joe Brown be knowing some stuff.
Grown-ass men and women. Grown-ass men and women with jobs, with college degrees and shit, running all around, wanting to beat people up over their political choices, thinking they got some real kind of power out here. Blue, red, red, blue. Driving around with all these colors on that damn car, putting big flags outside of their house and putting these things in the yard, and then people come and steal your sign out of your yard because they vote for the other person. And
Well, buying t-shirts, right? Now, I bought this because I like President Trump. So I kind of bought this kind of as a memorabilia when he was in office last time, and was hoping he was going to get elected again like he was supposed to, but we all know what happened with that. So I'm keeping this shirt. He was a good president, and hopefully he win this time. He'll be a good president. But anyway, you guys can watch the rest of that because I gotta get in my bed. It is late. It is the night before election day. And but it's just videos like this that makes me be like, this puts me on the edge of, I don't even know if I want to vote. And sometimes I think, well, maybe, let's try to keep hope alive. Let's just go vote this one last time, because I'm just to the point where I'm just tired of voting. Nothing's changing. And I mean, if people really don't start coming together and opening their eyes and really start fighting for some stuff and fighting for things to be right, and they see that we're not playing, that is we the people, like they supposed to be working for us. We don't work for them. Don't they know we can shut this whole country down? We can stop working their jobs. We can stop buying their products. That's what we should be doing. But I always keep telling myself, oh, our eyes, you got to participate because you live in this land, you live in this country. And, what happened if we all just had that attitude of not participating? They'll run this country and do what they want to do, and we'll really be in trouble. So you got to participate and hold people accountable. But it just makes you just sometimes lose a little bit of hope, and especially me, I'm just like, I don't even care anymore. Let the ones who want to fight go fight. It's just becoming such, like Billy said, a nice little circus, and I'm tired of the juggling acts. So I don't know if I do vote in this election. It's probably going to be my last one. But I always get excited. I can't say that because I always get kind of politically excited when this time comes around, especially when it's a big election year like this one, and it's a lot of major issues and, just excitement surrounding it. So, I'm just one of the people. I got to be a part of the excitement. That's all that is. But I'm just tired of it though. And I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll take my happy butt down there to the voting place and vote when I get off work tomorrow. Or maybe I might be like, I don't even feel like it, because by the time I get off work, the pool's going to be closed in an hour. So I might really have to hurry up and get myself down there. Or should I just come home and chill and just say whatever. Whatever happens, happens, because I know where my help comes from. I look to the sky. But, sometimes I just have a little bit of hope in President Trump because he fought so hard, and when he was president, and he's still fighting on the trail. And look what they're trying to do with the man. Try to assassinate the man, impeach the man. Oh my gosh, throw the man in jail and court. They're trying to do everything they can to stop him, which makes me wonder, like, why y'all trying to stop this man so hard? So that just make me want to go out there and vote for him more. If he fighting this hard, we gotta fight harder. If God maybe had his hand on him like that, to where you gotta know, no, you're not touching that one. Maybe he was sending a signal to the people who thought they could take him out, like, no, you're not gonna touch this one, because he will go and do what I called him to do. Because God, he'll set people up, or set kings up and tear them down. So, but they done try to do everything they could to this man, and he's still rolling. So sometimes I'm like, man, we gotta roll with him. He done put his life on the line, basically. But I'll see. I said I'll pray about it. I'm gonna think about it. However I feel tomorrow, that's what I'm gonna do. But let me know what you guys think about the electoral college, and do you think it's fair? And oh boy, it's gonna be a circus tomorrow. I can tell you that. But I say, you know what? It's gonna probably be. It's no gray area. Either it's gonna be crazy or it's not gonna be crazy. So I'm just gonna wait and see, because a lot of people have been waiting 4 years for this day to happen, election day. So we gonna see who the president gonna be, And then we're going to call it a night because you know they're going to probably wait till we go to sleep like how they did last time and start counting votes, and who knows what's going to happen. I might stay up and watch the shenanigans. I might be late for work tomorrow because I got to see what's going on. I got to see what's going to happen. I might stay up as long as I can and watch this one. Or maybe as I get up throughout the night, we checking my phone, see what's going on, because it's going to be crazy. Or it's not going to be crazy. Like I said, either it's going to be crazy or it's not going to be crazy. So, but, oh well, we'll see. I'm not going to let whoever win. I don't care. Republican, Democrat, and guess what? My life going to still go on. I'm going to still do what I got to do. And I'm just going to keep working this thing because at the end of the day, it's up to me. It ain't up to them. I got to keep working this thing. So, we'll see what happens. And I'm so sleepy. I feel like I'm rambling. I feel like I'm about to just fall asleep. This is late. But I wanted to make this video because, I mean, some people don't know about the Electoral College. And like you said, some people just think they just go vote and their vote counts. No, it don't. Like, some of y'all must be didn't take history in school. That's in the history books. But, yeah, it is what it is. A little bit of education for you, too. Not just about the election. I might just post this after the election because, you know, it's just still good material to go watch and learn and really do your own research and see how, you know, things are done in this country. But anyway, you guys, our eyes is tired and sick. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.